All right, friends, now that we have our eyes on, our ears on, we're going to turn up our singing voice. Make a pinch right in front of you and turn the volume all the way up. Awesome. And then we sing the parts of the book song, and it starts with the titles on the front. Ready? 1, 2, 3. The titles on the front, the titles on the front. Hi-ho, biblio, the titles on the front. All right. Now the author writes the words. The author writes the words, the author writes the words. Hi-ho, biblio, the author writes the words. Perfect. And the illustrator draws. The illustrator draws, the illustrator draws. Hi-ho, biblio, the illustrator draws. And the spine binds the book. The spine binds the book, the spine binds the book. Hi-ho, biblio, the spine binds the book. Awesome job. And now it's time to read. And now it's time to read, oh now it's time to read. Hi-ho, biblio, oh now it's time to read. Nice work, everyone. Let's zoom in close with our looking eyes. What do you notice on the cover? What do you see? Yeah, there are these 3 characters here. Do you recognize them? Yeah, they're black and they're white. You could see their nostrils here. I think they moo. You got it. We have 3 cows on the front here. Oh, and look there's some other animals. Have you seen those before? This one looks a lot like a chicken, and this one has a yellow beak. Looks a lot like a duck. And there's another thing right up front here. Does that look familiar? It kind of looks like a small computer or something. There's like these little keys that you can push. We'll take a closer look at that during the story. The title is Click, Clack, Moo, Cows That Type. Oh, that must be a typewriter. Interesting. We'll see what a typewriter does in just a little bit. And this story was written by Doreen, Cronin, and pictures are by Betsy Lewin. And a special thanks to Simon & Schuster for allowing us to share this story today. Okay, friends, let's jump on in. Oh, there it is. There's that typewriter. If you type on these keys, and there's letters that are punched into that paper. Let's see why our cows are using it, though. It's a weird thing for cows to use. All right, here we go. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. Oh, that's the sound that the typewriter makes, click, clack. And moo is a sound the cows are making. And here's Farmer Brown. At first, he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. Here's the letter that our cows had created or wrote for him. It says, Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. Oh, that sounds reasonable. So they're getting cold. They need some blankets. What do you think Farmer Brown said? Let's see. It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets. No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So the cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door. And this is what the cows had to say in response. Sorry, we're closed. No milk today. Oh man. So they're going on strike. They're not giving him any milk. No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. They're typing again on that typewriter. I wonder what they're going to write this time. The next day, he got another note. Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. Oh, now the hens are getting in on it because they're cold. Interesting. What do you think Farmer Brown might say now? The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the barn door. Close. No milk, no eggs. So the hens are going on strike too. They're not giving any eggs, and the cows will not give any milk. No eggs, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. Now what are they going to say? Cows that type? Hens on strike? Whoever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. He was upset. Now look at him throwing his arms up in the air. What am I going to do? Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown. Do you think the cows and the hens will listen? Do you think they're going to give him milk and eggs? Let's see. Oh, what happened next? Duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum to the cows. All right, so now Duck is going to go between the two and give that letter to the cows and the hens. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop and to listen in. But none of them could understand moo. Oh yeah, because they couldn't speak cow. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. Here are all the other animals here. We have a horse and a pig. Ooh, even a little cat, a dog, and a sheep, all trying to listen in. Duck knocked on the door early next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door, and we will send Duck over with a typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. Do you think Farmer Brown will go for that? Farmer Brown decided this was a good idea. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with a typewriter. Oh, look at them. All warm and cozy. All right. The next morning, he got a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Oh, now the ducks are getting in on it. It says, click, clack, quack. Click, clack, quack. Clickety, clack, quack. They're typing away. So they want a diving board because the pond is so boring. And oh, what do you know? It looks like they got one. Wow. What a powerful way to use our words. So they were able to write a letter to Farmer Brown, letting him know what they wanted, and they were able to share some words with each other. And in the end, well, I don't know, Farmer Brown was probably happy because he probably got some milk and eggs at the end too. But everyone was warm and no one was bored around the pond. Great ending. I love that adventure. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. If you want to hear this story or more stories, tune in to Story Station every day at 2. Until next time, bye friends.